And good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Welcome back to another episode of the Encouraging Woman She Speaks podcast, episode 3. We made it. We're making it.
Yes.
We always start off. I am your host, Ashlie D, followed by my co-host, Dr. Storm.
Doctor. That's what my students just said. It's just connected. Okay.
It's registering now. How was your day today, Dr. Storm?
Oh, let me tell y'all something about my students. They ain't right. You know how they said be your own kid?
Oh, it definitely was her own kid.
So today we got spirit week going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the students had to dress like the faculty had to dress like the students. So everybody decided to be Dr. McCullough today. Ooh, they told my business, y'all. Y'all go to the page.
Yeah.
Go to Red Learning. I'm gonna post. They wrong for that. They wrong, sis.
Y'all, they got Dr. Storm right together.
They wrong for. How was your day?
Oh man, my day was great. I spent the day just really holding it down at my school, doing our thing. Not too much. You know, just another day in the jungle. Okay. I call it the jungle. But in a good way, you know, because we're going to survive in the jungle.
Every time.
Most importantly, we are here with the month of October. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to believe that this month is basically over, y'all.
Yeah.
I feel like we blinked and we're like, 2025 is over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 2024 is over and we're going into 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know what's crazy is that my mind is already set on 2025. We got so many things already planned for 2025.
Good stuff, y'all.
Good stuff, y'all.
Let me tell you some good stuff. You know how they say you eat good?
Yeah.
It's some good stuff, y'all.
It's some really good stuff. I think about the fact that it's like all my life, everything I'm preparing for, it's like, boom, it's finally here, it's happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, won't he do it?
Every time.
Every time, y'all. Every single time. October, we have breast cancer awareness going on. We have now, of course, domestic violence is what we're going to touch on today.
Yes.
Oh, man, this is one topic that is so near and dear to my heart. And I'm just like, woo!
It's always like,
yeah. I talked about it previously on Miss Michelle's platform, Mama Michelle, which I greatly appreciate because it gave me an opportunity to release. And I've realized that the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, I'm feeling so much better. Like my heart is like, it went from being broken to like, now it's like, perfect. Like, it's just so perfect. Like, how cool is that? But it's just one of those topics that I think now it's so prevalent. And I think a lot of times our community, we don't realize what's happening as it's happening. Right. Then after the fact, it's like, oh, okay.
You know what? It's like the onion. It's almost like you're unpeeling like the layers.
Yeah.
Of
like a little onion.
So much of what you have been through as what we may feel like embarrassing moments of why did I let myself go through that? Yeah. But as we get older, wiser, and you know, we tenderonis on here because I'm not going to call them tenderonis. But as we continue to grow and we continue to heal, it becomes our testimony.
It really does. Like every single day I look at how I'm able to explain and give my testimony to the next young lady who I'm trying to help to not go through what I went through because it was an uncomfortable experience and embarrassing experience. And we're going to talk about it today.
Yes, this going to be good, y'all. Let me tell you something. Get comfortable. Get ready.
Yeah.
And be in a position just to receive.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be a good experience. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like I can't even get it out.
She ready, y'all. She ready. Thank you. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm such a goofball, y'all. I promise this is just me, y'all, on a regular basis. Like I love to just laugh. I love to have a moment just to joke here and there. But in all seriousness, today's episode is one that y'all gonna be like, wow, you know, I've always been such a private person. And since we created this platform and continuously to pour into our community, I'm like, all right, it's time to tell the story. It's time to get it all out. It's time to really let people know, yes, Ashlie D is human.
But I'm proud of you for being vulnerable.
Yes.
And it takes a lot.
It's so uncomfortable, y'all, but I gotta do it.
But you're doing a good job.
You're doing a good job. You're doing it good. So without further ado, today's guest, oh my gosh, y'all. Miss Ashlie Pitts. We're going to talk about Ashlie really quick before we break on. So Ashlie Pitts, She is a mother.
Yes.
She is a sister, an auntie.
Mm-hmm.
A domestic violence survivor.
Mm-hmm.
I survived so she could live.
That's right.
A domestic violence motivational speaker, a boutique owner
of
Ashlie Nicole Apparel.
Woo.
Wait a minute, y'all. This is my favorite part. She has 2 new titles, okay?
Talk about it.
I'm going to give my girl her flowers right now, okay? She has 2 new titles. Yes. She is evangelist.
Ooh.
Ashlie Pitts. Author. Ashlie Nicole Pitts. Without further ado, guys, let's bring on my good girl, Ashlie Nicole Pitts.
Come on, Miss Pitts.
Come on, Miss Pitts.
Hi.
Hey, Ash.
Hey. Hey, ladies.
Girl, oh, you look so pretty.
Thank you. So y'all. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Oh my gosh. The moment is here, Ash. We've been waiting for this time.
Oh God.
And I remember I told you earlier this year when we first started, I was like, Ash, you come to the podcast.
And now you're here.
I am here. We are here. Yes. I'm excited. Yes. I'm so excited.
Listen, Ash, first of all, thank you for saying yes to coming on.
That's right.
I always like to thank our guest, Dr. Storm, as well. We're like, hey, good evening, y'all. We are here. We are live, y'all. I know there's so many of our followers, our audience that are like, okay, what y'all about to talk about? Because we know these 2 Ashleys, right?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay.
I'm the oldest.
She is, y'all. That's like my big sister, y'all. Just so y'all know. It was messy for the record.
We standing on business.
We standing on business today, y'all.
Yes.
But today, guys, today is more so we're going to get some things out. We're going to talk about some things. Some things that are, I feel like every mom has gone through, whether it be they were with someone, they broken up, and now they're with someone new,
right?
Or it be they were married to someone. I think every single woman that is on this live, they are experiencing either now or have experienced in the past, or they have a friend that's going through it right now, and they're like, what do we do?
Talk about it.
Okay. So with that being said, I want you guys to understand Ashlie is someone that I truly love and I adore so very much.
Right.
And I'm so thankful to be able to finally have this moment to express this to the world and let them know. I mean, we are from the city of Fort Lauderdale, of course, and you know, there's so many things out there, or maybe not even so, because I mean, people not approaching me so. But at the end of the day, we are here and we support each other. I wrote it down. We have a special bond of sibling mothers.
Love it. I love that special bond.
Yeah.
Sibling mothers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A bond that is unbreakable.
Yep.
A bond that is filled with love, tenacity. Yes. Bond that feels with, girl, I got you.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah. That is the biggest thing, Ash. And like, I want our listeners today, our viewers, I want them to learn from this experience. Yes. I don't want it to be, well, it's not going to be, first of all, let you talk. Tell who Ashlie Pitts is, because you know I'm talking.
Who is Ashlie Pitts? I am a mother, a grandmother. I am a survivor of rape. I am a survivor of church hurt. I am a survivor of betrayal, a survivor of divorce, and a survivor of domestic violence. I am a new author, and I just on last week, Friday, got my license as an evangelist. Yes, listen, it's been a long time coming, but
I know
we're here.
Yes.
I'm a boutique owner. I'm a stylist. Pretty much with me is what you see is what you get. I am a very encouraging person.
Yes.
By profession, I'm a quality specialist. I'm me.
Multifaceted one. Stop playing.
I'm me. Just me.
You're my girl. Listen, Ash, they showing you so much love. I just love your supporters. I love them so much. They're like, Come on. Look, Nakia say, we love you too, girl.
We love you, Kia.
It's the hearts for me, y'all.
Listen.
Keep dropping them. We haven't even got to the good stuff.
We have not. Listen.
And all this love on this platform.
So much love.
They ready to hear about
Ashlie, I remember when you told me about getting ready to go through the process for evangelism. Oh, come on now. That's Sharice.
I'm here for the dimension.
Come on, Sharice. So I remember when you were going through that process and just like always trying to encourage as much as I possibly can, because I know a lot of times when we're elevating in certain levels of our lives, the devil is always there to try to attack us as much as possible. Mm-hmm. And I am you inspire me in so many ways. I'm like, look at Ash, a holy evangelist. Stop playing with my girl. You can't mess with God's anointing.
No, you cannot.
No, ma'am.
That's what you can't do.
No, ma'am.
And that is the biggest thing that I feel like people don't understand. Certain individuals don't get the fact that we're never going to fail.
Right.
No.
Right.
We're not.
Everything we put our hands to is going to turn into gold. So,
absolutely.
Ash, I want you to start we want to talk from the beginning.
Oh, take me back.
Okay, so how far back from the beginning are we going, and what beginning we want to start at? Because I'm ready.
Where do you want to start?
Where would you like to start at?
So we can start from.
Ash, they say you're an armor bearer too. You didn't tell me that one, babe.
I am an armor bearer. I love you. That's my pastor, Pastor Marie Benson of Resilient Warriors for Christ Ministries from Augusta, Georgia. Yes, I am.
That's right.
Oh man, Ash, so many hats.
Yes.
What has helped get Ashlie to this point of so many hats you're wearing, so many ways you're giving, you're serving.
Yes.
Let's say you're serving in this.
With a beautiful smile and a humbling spirit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go back to the beginning, and we'll start from the domestic violence, because that's really what got me to where I am today. So I was in a 13-year relationship. 6 of those years I was married. And we can say you're gonna tie into the beginning too, if that's fine.
Let's go.
If you good with that. So I was pretty much minding my business one day, and I was outside, and a brother rolled up, right? Mm-hmm. He shot his shot. We actually grew up in church together, so it wasn't a stranger. It was a familiar person. And it kind of kicked off from there. I think later on during that week, we met up, we went out, and from the beginning, like everything was peaches and cream, smooth talk, all of this. And eventually we ended up in a relationship. I can say maybe a month in. It was a girl that I went to school with, and she was like, so I don't think you're the only one. And I'm like, well, what's up? What's tea, sis?
Wait, Maya said, I'm gonna be holy on here, but woo, girl. Y'all, Maya is her daughter. That's my other baby too.
All right, celebrate your mama, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to be holy. Just be holy, just like that. I got that phone call, and it was like, yeah, I seen XYZ, and they was dressed alike at the fair. They had on the same shoes.
That's what I hear. Coordinate.
What?
Coordinating, Dr. Storm. Coordinating. Okay.
I'm trying to think that.
I don't know if it was like the Broward County Fair or that fair at St. Thomas. Was it a fair at St. Thomas they used to have in the area somewhere?
All I can remember, I'll be honest, is going to horror nights dressed alike.
Oh, well, it could have been that. But she definitely said it was a fair. So
yeah.
So some things being revealed today, I see.
Girl, y'all get some.
Talk about it.
Like my kids at dinner say.
So I remember that.
Yup.
And I remember questioning, and it was like, no, whatever the case may be. And when I tell you, dealing with a narcissist, and a manipulator, you got to understand that they are good at what they do.
Yeah.
So I believed it or whatever. Yeah. And some time went on, and we ended up moving out to, I believe it was Margate or North Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And this is where
I come into play.
So you come into play. Okay. with the coronation.
Wait,
I'm sorry.
Listen, hey, I'm so serious. I don't have nothing left, you. Listen, I'm getting such a good laugh. He said horror nights. I said Halloween horror nights.
Come on, Chris. That's your interpretation.
That's my overseer, y'all. That's our overseer, Bishop Christopher Holloway Sr. Yes.
I was trying to say Halloween horror nights, y'all, for the record. I would never say that.
That was good.
You making this real juicy. So
I'm still on the
I gotta ask this question. So y'all were living in that house together?
Yeah, I was there basically every day, so you can say all the time, and I'm sure Maya remember being there too. You know, my girls were much younger then.
Yeah, they were
much younger then, so we were there pretty much every day. We were there. So
I love y'all so much. Y'all are keeping me laughing. So from that point, do you want me to tell my portion of it or what?
Okay, so I believe that I'm not gonna say that was the first warning sign for me,
right?
But thinking back a little bit, like what should have been a red flag to me was the nights where I'm out with my friends and you around the corner and you stocking and clocking what time I come home.
Maya said have dog and all. I'm done.
So who
Diamond?
Yeah.
So you say stocking and clocking in.
Yeah. What time I came home. And that was at the point where you began to pull me away from my friends.
Yep.
That started from the beginning. So that should have been some red flags for me.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So around the time you came in, I had just had an abortion. And I remember that night laying in the bed and like I was in so much pain, and I literally just reached over to say, hey, like something not right, like I'm not feeling well. And that was the first time that I got slapped. So I just laid at the bottom of the bed, like I repositioned myself to the bottom of the bed, and I just balled up. All I could do was cry and go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I want to say not too long after that, you came in, so you can chime in.
Oh yeah. So on my end, it was more so, you know, I was living in Daytona, so I was going up and down the road, coming back like weekends or so. And so the routine changed. One thing I realized about narcissists, their routines, they think that they've gotten you because it's a consistent thing. And then when they change up, that's when you start kind of side-eyeing. I'm like, what's going on? So I was due to be back in Daytona that evening, but he thought I had already left. So here I go, being me, you know. I go to the house, I pull up, I'm like, oh, he home.
Okay.
Ooh.
Pull up.
Okay. Oh, I am the pull-up queen. So I pull up, the routine will always be they would leave the door unlocked because he had roommates at the time too.
Okay.
So I open the door. I'm like, okay, they know who I am. So let me go ahead and see what's going on. I'm not going to go steal. I'm just trying to see what's tea. So I go and I knock on the door. Like, taking time getting to the door. Knock on the door again. Finally open the door. Bam. I see Ashlie. I didn't know her name at the time. I see Ashlie and I see him, and he just immediately starts wailing on me. Bum, 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 bum. Immediately. And from there, I was actually 3 months pregnant with my son. So I jumped in the car. I didn't call the police because, one, I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't know what's going to happen. Am I going to be wrong because I entered his house? Here I go making excuses for what just happened. Right? Get on the highway, call my girlfriend, like, yo, he just did this to me. Da, 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 da. And I make it to Daytona and I meet with my RA and she's like, oh, no, you can't be here with your face like this. You cannot be here. I'm like, hold on, but I got assignments to turn in. So my thoughts were like, let me turn in my assignment. I'll give it to my RA, what's it called? Resident assistant. She turns it into my professor and I need to get back on the road because I was determined I was going to have an abortion. I said, I am not going to deal with this man. He is crazy. I'm not trying to go through this. As I'm on the highway, driving in my little Honda Civic, y'all know, having a little water Honda Civic sliding, and all of a sudden my wheel just takes to the left and my car flips 2 times.
Oh my God.
And all I was thinking, God, just let me live. And so my vehicle landed. And I remember I was like, I got to get my phone. I just got to get my wallet so people know who I am. Being able to identify me if I pass out. Because I didn't know what was going to happen. So I grabbed those items out the car, wheel still spinning. And I just remember this lady come to my rescue. She was like a guardian angel. I don't even remember her name. And she's like, oh my God, you okay? Like I'm literally walking out of the vehicle. All I have is the damage from the incident with him. And so I was able to mask the injuries to make it relevant to the actual accident as opposed to me being abused. And I'm in the hospital and I'm like whispering to the nurse, don't tell my grandma I'm pregnant. Like, she don't know. Like I'm like trying to hide it. And that is pretty much how my son got that nickname Champ, because he survived, right? God was like, you were trying to take out his life when both of your lives could have been taken.
My God.
So that was the beginning of when I first saw Ashlie. And Ashley, I don't know if you remember what I said to you when I saw you. You remember what I said to you?
What you said?
He gonna do the same thing to you.
Oh, see, I missed that memo. You should have said it a little louder, sis.
But wait a minute, ladies. I'm over here just, jotting down my own little notes here because several things caught my attention, and I know it caught our viewers' attention as well. So before we go to the next phase, I just need to unpack several things.
What you got?
So it's amazing how Ashlie, during that time before Ashlie came into play, you say you just had an abortion, laid down. That was the first time that you were slapped.
Yeah.
And it's almost as if you're going through that process, and it's almost like you want the comfort of your man, but it's the 360, and he become abusive at your most vulnerable moment.
Yeah.
And then from that point, now another woman come into play. And with this woman, now you pregnant. And as soon as you caught the slip up, it's almost like I'm gonna beat you getting mad.
Yeah,
that was always the thing.
That was literally the pattern, right, Ash? It was
always the thing. I'm gonna beat you getting mad. Yeah, that was it.
And what else stood out is that both of you was pregnant at the same time.
Basically.
Pretty much.
And it's almost like, oh, this is deep. You went through the abortion. You was headed towards the abortion, but God almost took your life.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Listen, that was the breaking point for me. Well, actually, no, I take that back because there was an additional main incident that took place. This is after my son was born, right? He was, 1 year old? And it was like, I knew you were playing these games and doing you, but I'm keeping you at a distance. Well, there you go. that's a narcissist for you, for sure. Mm-hmm. So I would say I did like to get my lick back. So I had me someone else. Right? Okay. I'm in my own, I'm being as transparent as I possibly can be. I'm in my own place doing me, and he comes yet again blowing up the phone. What is he? Blowing up your phone, calling me to figure out why I'm not answering my phone. But I just told you I was going to sleep. Why are you blowing up my phone? Right? You come and you literally break in my front door.
Yep.
And I have my son in my arm, and you literally just start wailing on me yet again. When BSO came, they said it was the worst domestic violence they had ever seen. I'm talking about blood splatter all over my wall.
My God.
And I was only 21 years old at the time.
Wow.
And all I remember was one of my neighbor's sons. He was in the streets. He pulled out that rifle so fast, like just coming to my rescue because he knew his neighbor was in danger. And from there, that was how I was able to escape out of that situation.
So you were able to escape after the baby was born.
Yep.
Ashlie, what was your path? Because I know that we started with you with the abortion, and then Ashlie came into play. Yeah. How was that for you? You my shero. Yeah. Let me just go on record and say that. Okay?
So
you are my shero.
So for some time, of course it was the lies, and the whole pregnancy was denied the entire time. When I tell you the entire time, it's not until I believe you had him that the truth was told. And then it was our baby. That ain't my baby. That's your baby. Because at this point, what can you deny? He's here now.
Yeah.
My path, I can say now, thinking back, that maybe I stayed in it a lot longer because it is a part of my story. It had to happen to make me who I am today.
Right.
I did believe a lot of the lies.
Yeah. I think we all did, Ash. At some point, we all just kept believing. And y'all, let me tell y'all, we got a whole village, and we all love each other. So I'm talking to all these moms on here that's beefing with the mom. Don't beef with the mom. He's the problem.
Yeah.
The man is the problem that has been created, and we have to learn that it's not the kid's fault. Nope. We all love our children. Most importantly, just recognize who the problem is. Right. Did I know this was all going on? Did Ashlie know all this was going on? No.
And even when I saw it, they say love is blind, right? So even when I saw it, I still believed all of the lies. Yeah. All of the lies I still believe. Because you're
in it at that particular point. Yeah. It's hard to unbelieve a lie when you feel like you are in love, you are vested in this person. And then sometimes, as women, it's almost like, well, who she thinks she is? This my man. So it's different phases that we go through in relationship, especially when they're not when a man having a control and know your weakest points, they do play on it.
They do.
Yeah.
And when you're in love, and now when children are involved, everybody want a house and everybody want a home. Everybody want the 2-parent household, right? Yes. No matter what it looks like.
Yes.
So
the kids say, I love my baby mama.
We love you too. So I can say that, I grew up in a 2-family household. So I literally saw my mom. My dad loved my mom to the day he took his last breath. So that's what I was used to. I'm not used to a broken home. So, with my first 2 kids, that relationship was already over. Yeah. So I guess I needed to show them something different. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why I fought as hard to prove the people wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely can understand that. I think a lot of times when you have the child from that person, when you're like, okay, I'm gonna make this work, or when you become married, so I've never been married, but I understand. Would I agree with it? No. But at the end of the day, I get it why so many individuals stay with their spouses.
Yeah.
And I just know, Ashlie, for you to endure that for 6 years, I mean, my child is 17, and I'm just like, woo.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having to come to that every single night for 6 years.
Yeah.
And when I say that, it's a lot. When I say that, that has a huge definition to it.
Right. And also be a phenomenal mom, and to walk and model what a strong woman is. Yeah. And I know it's a very, I always say the emotions of a strong Black woman and what we have been through is the stories that are untold. Yeah. And for me just to have all my little notes that I just listening, it's almost like, wow. Yeah. Oh, if you can go back, Ashlie, to that phase in life and just tell yourself anything at this moment, what advice would you give Ashlie? You, Ash.
To love me first. Love me first.
Yeah. That's good.
Love my children. Love my children, because with my older two girls, it almost ruined my relationship with my girls. And I would say to myself, you know, think about those babies, because being in that situation for so long, it's like you're telling, especially your girls, that this is okay. This is what love is. Love hurts. If he don't beat you, then he don't love you. So I would definitely tell myself to love me first and know my worth. And I don't have to, like, you don't have to deal with that at all.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And Ash, it's just one of those things, like, I realized even for myself, I was raised in a 2-parent household, of course, like, you know, my parents are both deceased. However, I was raised by my grandparents. So the way I saw love was pretty much patience and being kind to each other. I didn't see the abuse while growing up. Right. So I couldn't fathom in my mind, why would a person that claims they love you is willing to strike you at so many given moments because they're upset, but they don't know how to communicate. They'd rather just argue and yell and then think that it's okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what's interesting? It also makes me think about when we talk about just being raised by our parents, and if I think about the other side and how it becomes a generational curse, and then you have two amazing women that's raising children with the same, you know, bloodline in a sense, and it's almost like, okay, God, I have to stand up to show my children that this is not the way to go.
Yep.
Yes.
And this is what love is. This is what love is not.
Right.
And I just think it's amazing because I know that you're so transparent with your son, and Ashlie, I know that you are as well, to show them that, hey, mommy been through this, but let me show you what it is on the other side, because both of you are very successful.
Yeah.
And I love that about the both of you. And what I love about the both of you also is that what was a tragic, and most people would have said that it became a beautiful storm in the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ash, when do you recall us really like coming together? Do you remember that?
I know when the individual was locked up, I know we tried. Because y'all, we weren't always here.
Right.
It took some time. I know at that point we tried. And we would stay connected for the kids. I remember coming to your house and us talking. I think you were doing nails at that time. You had your little nail station set. Had your little nail station set up in the corner.
Like, Ash, let me practice on you right.
Go ahead, girl. I know around that time we did try. I feel like the turning point was towards the maybe when I was going through the divorce or at the tail end of that.
Yeah. I think that is definitely the time frame. I think for me, I was like, okay, now I know she's really done with him. like I'm the type of person, I'm like, I don't want it to be. I'm giving you some ammunition to give to that person that we're trying to take down.
Right.
That I knew. What was it? Oh, baby shower. Yes, it was.
Oh, yes, you're right.
And
whose baby shower
That's
was
what we all, Amir.
Yes.
Yeah. So we all came together. We took a beautiful photo with all the baby mamas. Not all of them, because it was still more that we didn't know about. So we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah,
but
y'all was starting to come together.
We were starting to come together, and I think we all were realizing, like, hey, we got children. Like, but we have to make sure if we're going to have this bond and this connection that it's like you're not going to allow the liquid to filter out. Like, we can't do that.
Right. Because everything gives a supply.
Correct.
And I think that's when we all became a lot more supportive of each other. We started showing up at birthday parties, football games. Like, I know for me, if the kid's birthday, I would do the cupcakes, the candy bags, and take it all to the school. Because at the end of the day, the children, they innocent. They had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, right.
Nothing at all. So yeah, Maya, you're right. Thank you for that. It was Amir's baby shower that we all.
Maya said I was definitely in the nail station. That's my But
that is awesome.
Nonetheless, I will say, looking back, it has been a journey. A journey that I'm thankful that we're making it through.
Yes,
because we all at the tail end of everything. Looking at domestic violence, though, do you recall the first time it ever happened to you with him?
When it got serious, not just the first slap. It's been so many instances. Like, I can give you like a couple different occasions. I can tell you when it got a little bit worse. I believe he was locked up for whatever the reason. And I invited my friend girl over, and when he got out, one of the neighbors had said, "Oh, I seen this, it was this girl over, whatever the case may be." And given the relationship, it was like, he was upset about that. And I think this particular incident was, I know it started in the room and we were all 56, which you just gave me some.
You just gave you some tea, huh?
Y'all, I just found out some real tea.
I got some real tea on that. You see how, listen, when I tell you what's done in the dark always comes to the light, no matter how long after, baby, I was like, what? Hence the reason why I could never go down there and take care of that. But okay.
Exactly. Girl, this journey has been so oh my God.
That particular incident, I remember being in the room and him grabbing my phone and calling one of my good friends of over 20 years and just saying, "Oh, she messed up, she this and she that, and this be this and that be that." And I'm just like, come on, be for real. And however I ended up on the ground, this man got a cold jug of water out the refrigerator and poured it all over me. And I don't know if he attempted to like kick at my neck, but when he kicked, like, that literally at that point could have ended my life. And that's just like, that's one incident. When it got towards the end, when it was getting bad for like my girls, I had a cousin that lived up the street, and my family started like pulling my older girls and, you know, kind of keeping them away. And I don't know if this incident was about money, because I literally had to hide the fact, like, okay, well, they ain't pay me this week. Because if like you knew that I had money, it's like you gonna come up short on this end, and I have to cover everything. So when we talk about being in domestic situations, it's not just about the physical abuse, it's the financial abuse as well. And I dealt with that as well. So this particular occasion, incident, let me say, it I remember saying, well, I ain't get paid, because, you know, I had my own bills, I had my own kids to take care of as well. Like, I done came, I'm hip to what's going on at this point. So, you know, now I gotta say certain things like, oh, well, they ain't pay, I ain't get paid. And this man would literally call my employer to like check whatever. And listen.
So if he verified and then they told him the truth, how did that end for you, Ashlie?
It didn't, like, it didn't end well, because I'm like, you know, whatever they said is whatever they said, but I'm telling you, like, I don't have it. Right. So this incident, like, I remember in the bathroom, I'm running a tub full of water. I had to get undressed and get in the water. I had to call my older girls and tell them that I love them. At this point, I didn't even know if I was ever gonna see my girls again. And in a tub full of water with no clothes on, I had a gun held to my head. I can't recall what was said at that moment, but I didn't know if that was going to be the end of me then. I should have left then. But at this point, I'm in real deep, and I don't know if I was still trying to prove a point to everybody else that I can change this person. So I didn't leave at that point either. You know, I stayed. 2010, I had my daughter.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because Nagin and Maya together. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So you say 2010 you had your baby?
Yeah, 2010 I had my daughter, and I want to say around that time he was locked up again for some time for whatever reason. And it was all the jailhouse talk, and I'm gonna change, and
all
this listen, this, that, and the third, and you know, you believe it. I had to, like, I literally had to hold the apartment down at that time, and I did have help, I can't say that, but I had to hold the apartment down as well. So when my daughter was 6 months in 2010, that's when we ended up getting married. I can say for anybody who is looking to get married or you're engaged, do premarital counseling. I feel like if I would have got that wise counseling, I probably wouldn't have been married. Unless I was just like being disobedient and not listening to it. But I can say for those who are looking to get married, if you're engaged, go through the counseling so you can dig deep into the past, the history, you want to dig deep down in the bloodline so you can really know what you're dealing with. And I didn't do that. I didn't do that. So at this time, let's rewind a little bit. So I'm pregnant in 2010, and I don't know if it was my best friend who brought up yet another girl. And this time in 2010, this girl was pregnant. Right?
Wow.
And I remember however she reached out to me, I remember telling her, well, good luck with your baby, because I don't know what else you want me to say. Good luck with your baby, because I already know like what's not going to be done. But over the years, we kept in contact. So I found out about her. We were already married at this point. But I had found out that her daughter was born, I want to say 14 days before my daughter, in the same month.
Right.
We would have been in the same hospital.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, I stayed. And I can say I ended up in the relationship for so long because every time I would pray and I would say, God, if you get me out of it this time, I promise I ain't going back. I ain't going back. But every single time I went back. I remember leaving and staying away from some time. And I had to come to the house to get something and knock on the door because I get back keys. I get back everything. And knocked on the door, and I can't even come in because guess what? It's somebody else. Listen.
Jesus Lord.
Listen.
Wait. What was the breaking point for you when you said, you know what, I'm going to file for divorce?
So, crazy thing is, I didn't file for the divorce. I remember like having to use his truck for something. And inside of the truck, I saw like this parking pass with a name on it, right? And
it wasn't me, y'all.
It wasn't her. It was none of the baby mamas that's supporting us right now on this live.
Right. I love y'all.
Somebody else. Okay. So when you found the parking pass.
Yeah. So I kind of kept, the name. I kept the name. I remembered it. And I want to say in 2017 is when he filed for the divorce. Right? And okay, cool, because I had done left before then. So when my baby girl, when she was in elementary school, we were in like a horrible hit and run accident where somebody ran into my car. And she had all of this trauma, and he, as if it was my fault when they hit me, he blamed me for that. So during that time, during the whole, I can say last maybe 6 years of the relationship, I started going to these sister empowering sister meetings. And that's how I was able to stay sane a little. But the turning point was I had just came back from one of the meetings with my best friend, and we were downstairs, and I'm not really sure what he was upset about at this time. And I remember him grabbing me by my neck and choking me. But this time I seen a different rage in his eyes. And I can't even recall what was said because I was literally choked to the point where a little bit longer, again, I wouldn't have been here. Right. And I remember because of those meetings, I was still in tune spiritually. And I remember hearing God say to me, if you go back to it this time, you're going to die in it. And for me, I have these kids. And all I can think about is who's going to raise my kids. And I ended up leaving, and that was that. But he ended up filing for the divorce, and we can be a little petty, try to be a little nasty. So the papers were sent to my job, right? So you couldn't tell me, pattern. Right? You couldn't tell me that I was finna be served these papers because you knew, and get this, you filed on my birthday. So you took the time to go down to the courthouse on March 30th, 2017 to file for a divorce. You knew you did this. You could have said, well, you're going to get these papers, be home or whatever. And I could have been home to get the papers. No, your intentions were to embarrass me. Your intentions was always the intentions. So during this time, like at my job, this was a slow season. So let me tell you how God covered his own. The lobby the lobby was empty. There was literally nobody there. The person that the deputy spoke to, she came and she whispered to me. She said, Ashlie, it's a police officer at the door waiting for you. So I'm like, okay, that's strange, but let me go see what's up. And she told me what she was serving me with. And she said, are you okay? And I looked at her and I said, ma'am, it's been a long time coming.
Right. Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. And I'm okay. I just want my life back.
Absolutely. So
she gave me the papers. I put them up and I called and I went off. Cause
y'all, this is before Evangelist, y'all.
This was before. And I went off. You couldn't tell me, da-da-da-da. And all you had to say, whatever. And it's like, well, I didn't know if you was going to be home or not. You ain't know if I was going to be at work either, but you could have said something. But it is what it is. Because again, God covers his own.
Yes, he does.
Ash, I just got served papers last week, so it works. Okay, it don't stop.
So let me tell you,
it's a pattern. It's a pattern,
right? So let me tell you, even in that, watching you and everybody else go through it, in my mind, I said, "This is gonna be me one day."
Yeah.
And I knew that was going to be
smoke signals. I was like, hey, tell her now what's about to happen. Because I knew. Listen, send the raven. I was like, let her know this is what. And I think I probably am the youngest out of everybody. And I just was like, this is not right. This is, I'm so thankful that I got pulled out of it as quickly. But this is the reason why I pour into young ladies, because I want to ensure that they never have to go through this. Right. If I would just listen to my grandparents and my uncle and my cousin,
it's always the adults that's trying to
listen. But at the same time, it's like we don't understand we're in that young age, and you want what you want, and you're doing what you do. And I was the youngest out of everybody. However, I'm the most calculated, strategic person with making sure, hey, we're gonna play chess with this one. We're gonna make sure we do X, Y, and Z to make sure that this doesn't happen. And I just remember I would tell Nakia, I love her so much. I'm like, tell Ashlie this. Because at that time you and I were not talking. So I'm like, tell her this.
Trying to get the message
across. But Ashlie always had the tools that I needed. But let me tell you, my God don't play about me. I'm talking about there had been times where I would have to self-represent myself. You got this person representing you.
Right.
And I ate baby up every single
baby, because what you know.
what you not gonna do.
I think one of the most amazing things is it's amazing how everybody have like you have such a unique story, Ashlie Pitts, and Ashlie D has a very unique story. See, when we talk about domestic violence, it's one of those things where I heard you say you got out quick. And then Ashlie Pitts, you had to kind of stay in the lion's den a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh, but when you think about life after the storm.
Come on now.
Because, baby, when you was dropping those titles, your storm helped you get those titles.
Yes.
So it's almost like, and I find myself saying, all right, God, now, would I do things a little bit different? And I heard God say, well, if you do, you won't be who you are today.
Right.
So embracing every testimony, embracing the past, it's still embracing what you're going through.
Yeah.
Because the reality is you both are phenomenal women that not even have touched the surface of what God has in store. Absolutely. And it's almost like he kept all of y'all.
Yes. Every last one of us.
Yeah.
Every mother has gone through something with him.
Yeah.
Endured the adversity with the domestic violence.
Yeah.
I think every mom probably can say their own testimony of what has happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I realized throughout this journey that narcissists have a type that they prey on.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the bottom line. They have a type and they continue the same pattern over and over again until they get what they want. Mm-hmm. Once they've gotten what they want, then they throw it to the side and just like, I'm gonna get the next one.
And see, they don't change. They don't change. They just change victims.
Oh yeah.
That's it. They change
But
victims.
I will say, one thing I will say is that they won't encounter a male the way they handle women.
Oh, never.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely no. You're not gonna buck up to the man.
That's asking for too much.
I ain't gonna do too much.
I'm gonna get this what I call a weak link, because I know if I stand up to a strong link.
Do you?
Yeah. Michaela, our kids are coming. I just love it.
But you know what is amazing? I love the fact that they are here to receive.
Yes.
Because see, my story is a lot different from you two. I didn't make it that far.
Yeah, thank God.
But I experienced it with my mom, and it's one of those things where, as you both, I know you try to keep your kids away from it as best as possible.
Yeah.
And one of the things my mom always told me, everything my mom said, don't allow a man to do. That relationship is just, I can't even say I was rebellious, because I was a good girl. Good girl like that, guys.
I was a good girl too, but I was.
Listen.
But I heard God tell me after I done been ran off the road, I didn't get to the physical portion of it.
Yeah.
But I was headed there, and when I saw my life flash before my eyes, I went down to that courthouse, and it's one thing about filling out restraining order papers. I just kept writing, but in the writing, actually, I'm like, well, dog, I didn't realize that I was actually going through this. Yeah. I can hear my mom and my parents and my family telling me, do you not know what you're going through? To me, I'm like, nah, it's me and him against the world. What you talking about? That's my man. Yeah. And we're going to prove y'all wrong.
Yeah.
And it was the day that you just got to sit down and say, you know what, God, certain things don't work out the way that we planned. And sometimes God will say, okay, daughter, since you won't do it, I'll do it. I'm going to make him file for the divorce.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, so I remember Pastor Kenya Elaine. I remember me sitting in my car in my mom's yard and me talking to her. And at this point, like, I didn't understand, like, why did I have to go through this? And, why me? All of those type things. And she helped me to realize at that point that it was never about me. It was never about me from the beginning. It was about the women in my future that I needed to reach. And if I die in it, then I'll never come across those women. I'll never reach those women. So
Come
she
on.
helped me to realize that. And leaving work one day, I remember going on to my pastor at the time's live, and all of those nights, still going through a divorce, like you start to blame yourself. It's like, why me? And I remember so many days riding to work, like eyes swollen. All I could do was cry because I felt like it was me.
Right.
And I remember leaving work and going on to my pastor's live. And the first thing I heard him say was, some relationships had to end in order for you to see God clearly, right?
Ooh, that's
So
it.
I grew up in the church.
That's right.
And I'm talking about from vacation Bible school, Sunday school.
The white
I went,
sauce at
I went
home.
I went Tuesday school. I went to the school daycare, like all of those things. And I kept myself there. But being in that relationship, I never lost my faith because that was all I had to hold on to. And I tried to keep myself as much as possible around believers, because at this point, I'm isolated from everybody.
Yes.
Right.
My whole appearance changed. Everything about me changed. I lost me.
Yeah. Which is easy to do.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen.
You start looking unrecognizable.
Yes. You look in the mirror and don't like you.
Who is this person?
Who is she?
Right.
Because it's not the same bubbly person that I was out with my friends and all of these things. But from there, I learned 2 scriptures and I stood on them. Jeremiah 29:11.
Come on now.
I knew. I knew.
I'm starting to move around.
I knew when I heard God tell me that He gave me I survived so she can live. I knew that my end was going to be expected, right?
Yep.
The second one was Matthew 6:33. And we can look at this in so many different ways. But the things that I needed added back unto me was my peace, my joy, my worth, my identity. Like those were the things that I was seeking for as I continued to seek God. So I held on to those things, and those scriptures literally got me through until until it was over. You hear me?
Yes, right. So it carried you. It was your pillow.
It carried me. It carried me.
Wow. It carried you to this moment, because I know that we have a new journal.
Yes.
Just talk about this journal now. Come tell us about it.
So, Rise and Reclaim, a survivor's healing journey. My pastor always told me to sleep with a notebook and a pen by my bed, because you never know when God gonna give you something in the middle of the night, or whether it was a dream I needed to write down or whatever it was. And I woke up one night and he literally gave it to me. And I'm always the one to question, like, okay, so Rise and Reclaim, a survivor's healing journey. What is this about? It was about the steps. It's about the steps that I took to heal. So in this journal, it started off as a 12-week devotional. And you have your devotional, you have your scripture that you're going to see like for those 7 days. It has journal prompts. It has spaces for you to reflect. And then on those next 6 days, you're going to do your daily check-ins where you're going to start to affirm some things for yourself. You're going to write down certain things about your past and how you felt then versus how you feel now. It's going to give you spaces for gratitude. What am I good? What am I grateful for today? And then we're gonna reflect again. So I said it was 12 weeks, right? So how it ended up being a 13-week devotional is an incident occurred. And this is after I went through School of Evangelism. I hadn't got my license yet. I was on my way there, and the incident happened. And it was like a slap in the face to me. For me, it was like, I can say at that point that I almost became a little angry with God, right? Because here it is. I've survived all of this. I've spoken on platforms. Pretty much every day, I'm pouring into an individual on a job, or somebody's inboxing me. I done wrote this 12-week devotional, and boom, this happens. And it's like, how can you use me to pour into other people when now I got to deal with my own dealing with this very same situation?
Wow.
And I was angry because why? If I'm saying I survived so she can live, and I can't even save mine, I felt like, what was the point? I was ready to give it all up. I was ready to give up all the weeks that I went through school, all of the assignments that I did, all of the platforms. I wasn't about to pour into nobody else. And I remember my brother coming over, and I love my brother so much. And he just listened to me. He just listened to me yell and scream. And I'm about to listen. I'm about to get on this plane. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it back. Listen, I'm through. I'm angry. I am angry. And it's like God always will show me who I need to speak to in that moment.
That's right.
Talk about
so I called my bishop. Well, first I text his wife. I text Elder Holloway, and I said, I need to talk to Bishop. Like, I'm about to flip all this upside down, right?
Come
I'm
on,
about to
give
give
me
it
Bishop on the
away.
hotline. Come on,
right
Bishop.
now.
I'm about to flip some tables. And I said, is it okay for me to call him or for him to call me? And I ended up speaking with him. And he listened to me. One thing about my pastor and our overseers, they're going to listen to you yell and scream. They're going to listen to you say whatever it is you got to say. There's no judging moments. Like, they are who you need them to be to you at that moment, right?
Awesome.
So he listened to me yell and scream. And when I was done, he said, so what if I told you that this was never about that person?
Wow.
Right? So now my antennas is like, what do you mean? Right?
What if,
what if I told you that this attack was the enemy hitting below the belt? And I was like, boy, that N-word hit low. That boy, you know how when people be like, you go low and I'm going to hell, right? That boy, I don't know how much deeper. When you want to be funny and I'm gonna act hilarious, like it was one of those things. And it was about you. It was about me. Because I'm at a place in my life where
you at the grave later. Go ahead, Ash. Love it.
I'm at a place in my life where I'm unmovable, right? Because I already know how you gonna come at me? Because there's
That's
never
right.
nothing new under the sun. So I was at that place where I was unmovable. But when you hit me here and it hit so close to home, you was this close to heaven.
He just caught you off guard a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Like it knocked the wind out me.
Back to life.
Yeah, and my bishop brought me back to life. And
Yes.
he said, so you did this 12-week, you have this 12-week devotional journal.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a week 13 on how to survive a setback.
Come on.
That's a good one.
Because them distractions, they come in all shapes and forms.
Literally.
I think that's what I say. You guys, them distractions.
They come. So after you done reclaimed your identity, after you done embraced self-love, after you done overcame fear, after you start to trust yourself again, after you start to empower yourself, after you started to forgive other people, after you've done all these things and you've healed, you've reclaimed your voice, what happens when that setback happens? So I had to do a whole 13-week on now how we gonna survive this setback.
That's good.
Oh, Ash, that's so good.
I like that because sometimes you need that extension.
Yeah.
And I believe that 13-week was the extension, because when you're doing so great, the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy.
Come on now.
Yes, he does.
So if you're touching all of these women's lives through these 12 weeks, and now we coming together like an army, right? So what happens when the enemy comes? We need that 13-week to say, you know what? First of all, it's a distraction.
It is.
So when the enemy hit low, I'm gonna do like Michelle Obama saying, go high.
Yeah.
Real high. Real high. Real high.
But most of all, it's almost like going back to the beginning.
Yes.
It's because the 13-week remind me of, I done got through the 12 weeks, but this is a journal that I can always use through any situation. Mm-hmm. So now when the enemy comes, I can just go back to chapter 1.
Come on now.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And that was it. That was the way it was laid out to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can just say, like I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything that I've endured. Again, like it's made me who I am today.
Right.
Without the trauma, without the hurt, without the divorce, there is no me.
That's right.
When I realized that it was never about me from the beginning, and it was for God to get the glory out of my life, I started to look at everything that I had endured a lot different than versus when I was in it, blaming myself. Like, this is your testimony, girl. Yeah. Like, this is who you are. And that's just the way I had to start looking at things. But as you remember, after the divorce, I remember we got a lot closer.
We did.
And I'll never forget when you said to me that all of that time you had been praying for me.
Yeah. That has always been the key. I think in this entire thing, even now with the other person that's married to him, you're just praying for him in spite of what we see it as. We just have to just stay and pray for that person, and just pray that one day they'll be able to break free. Because remember, like you said in the beginning, you thought that you could change him as a person.
Right.
But we know that the only person that can change him is God.
That's right.
Right.
So until he gets to that point, it's going to be a repeated pattern over and over and over again.
Right. It's like the same script, different cast. That's pretty much what it is.
Yep.
That is pretty much what it is.
What stood out the most, because when we talk about loving thy neighbors, and God wants us to love that agape love, right?
Right.
And when you praying, but you're praying right. I always say in my circle, I don't just have friends. I got people that I could pick up the phone and call, and you can't pray for me. I can't consider you a friend. And to have a village that you all have created in the betterment of your kids, I think that is amazing. Ashlie Pitts, 100 titles, 100 successful titles, and I just feel like this is not only the beginning, like eyes haven't seen and ears haven't heard of what's to come and what's already here. So,
Ash, let her plug those social medias.
Yes.
Tell us how we can pre-order.
Yes.
How we can follow you, pre-order, all that good stuff.
Okay, so you can follow me at the Ashlie Nicole Journey on Instagram. You can follow my page on Facebook. I have two. I have Ashlie Nicole Apparel, and then I have Ashlie N. Pitts. To pre-order the journal, the website is being built, but you can go directly through me, so we can pay through Cash App. But I just ask that when you pre-order that you put your name, your email address, and either Rise and Reclaim or a journal in the memo, so I can just keep track of all of that. So the hashtag is Rise and Reclaim, and then you can also order through PayPal at Ashlie, ASHLIE, at riseandreclaim.live.liv. You can order through there. Yes.
And guys, I did post it on my page. I did place my pre-order, so you can go to my page.
Thank you.
Ashley's pre-order information. I am so, listen, do you feel like we like lifted a weight? Like,
listen,
you can breathe.
Listen, God been doing a new thing, okay?
Yes.
It's just like he been lifting, he been making that cross a little bit lighter.
Come on.
A little bit lighter since we did, my pastor had the Bounce Back conference on the 18th. Yes. Listen, that was an experience, y'all. I'll be live tomorrow with her talking about telling my testimony too.
Awesome.
Yeah, so God had been lifting some things since then. Yes. I actually went to court on the 17th, the day before.
Y'all, doesn't it sound crazy, y'all? We women going to court.
Content.
Lord, now look, all you can say is Lord.
It's like a part 2. We can tell y'all plenty of stories about you. Like, what?
Girl, listen. But you know what's crazy is I never knew nothing about going and checking the clerk of courts and nothing like that, because you actually brought it to my attention.
I had to teach my girl, y'all. Like, baby, this how you go on clerk of court's website. Check and see if the person trying to sue you. Listen, I got some things I'm working on for my sisters to make sure we win. Because we all gotta win. Miss Davis says my heart is full. Ashley's like, I'm sorry, Nikia says we definitely have a village. I just love this. Pray for who might say.
Show up to court together.
She gonna learn. She gonna learn. When God tell you to pray for somebody,
reach one.
Listen.
Yeah, we gonna teach our baby.
Listen, when God tell you to pray for somebody, you got to do it.
Sharice says we have a panel, and I was sitting here, and God dropped it in my spirit, like, you got to get every last one of them, so everybody can get their testimony. Because you know how much they put so much negative stuff on social media with, I saw LaBousie and all his baby mamas and all that drama type stuff. But this is something that I feel is going to bless the next group that's going to come. There are going to be so many more women, or there are currently so many more women that are going through the same exact thing. They don't understand the importance of sisterhood. So I was literally sitting here and I had that vision. I was like, ooh. And I saw Sharice stated, and I'm just like,
I think it should be an open panel. Women need to come together and talk about what domestic violence look like, because it's physical, emotional, as you said, financial. It's in so many different,
spiritual. Listen,
it is.
So we got some more things we're gonna dash. This will not be the last time you guys see Ashlie Pitts on our platform. She's gonna definitely be coming back because we got some things we about to work on, y'all. I promise y'all.
Yes.
It's good, y'all. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be
really sisterhood dope. Is dope. It is really dope, especially when a person does everything in their power to keep it from happening. But I can't listen. What the enemy tried to use for bad, God turned it around for good. Okay, because we are here. Like Ash said in the beginning, we check in almost every day, every other day. When she having those moments, she called me and I encourage her. And when I'm having those moments, she encouraged me. So this should definitely let the next generation know that just because y'all have the same mutual person, you don't have to beef. You don't have to beef. Y'all can be exactly where we are today, supportive of each other, supportive of the children, because it's not about us.
Right.
Definitely a narrative that can be changed.
This is awesome.
I love it, Ash. I appreciate you so much. Y'all don't understand. Ashlie is like my big sister. Like, I'm so serious, y'all. I will call Ashlie and I'm like, it's like I will say, when you're high, I'm low. When I'm high, you're low. So we balance each other out to continue to just uplift and encourage each other. And I think that if everybody continues to understand that dynamic, I think every baby mama relationship will be a beautiful situation, just as how we have grown and healed to this point.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely.
Ashlie Pitts.
Yes, my girl.
Pitts, I just love it all. Make sure everybody pre-order. I definitely will be getting my book. Make sure everybody like, follow, and share. And
he did. God worked it out for your good. Come on, Sabrina.
Yes, he did.
It's good.
He did.
So good.
Yes. And guys, so you guys know next week we have a special guest as we get ready to close out this episode. We will have our Commissioner Pamela Beasley Pittman that will be joining us to talk about the elections, y'all.
Vote.
The importance of voting. Make sure you early vote this week. Sunday is the last day. Early voting polls close at 7 p.m. Y'all, we are in this thing and we got to win.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about who we voting for, but we already know what time it is. So we appreciate you guys, and we look forward to seeing you guys actually next week, Monday at 8 p.m. Tuesday, on Monday, November the 4th at 8 p.m.
That's right.
We love you guys. We see you next week.
See ya. All right, Ashlie Pitts.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.